If you think the economy consists only of stock markets, gross domestic product figures, or central bank interest rate decisions, you are overlooking one of the world's largest and fastest growing markets, namely the Empire of Shadows. Today, as economic Sherlock, we turn our lens beyond moral judgments to the cold and rational mathematics of crime, to a massive multi-billion-dollar underground holding, because the criminal world is not just about chaos and violence as you might think, but rather a massive economic ecosystem where the laws of supply and demand operate in their wildest and purest form, where risk management, cost analysis, and return on investment, ROI, are of vital importance, where cartel and crime leaders sit in the CEO chair, and hitman resources are managed instead of human resources. It is estimated that the total turnover of illegal activities around the world reaches trillions of dollars, a figure larger than the economies of many G20 countries. And while the wheels of this system turn with a broad portfolio ranging from drug trafficking to human smuggling, from cyber crimes to the counterfeit product industry, each sector creates a parasitic structure parallel to the global economy with its own dynamics. For instance, let's take drug cartels. These organizations actually operate like multinational corporations specialized in logistics and supply chain management. They source raw materials, coca leaves or poppies from the cheapest source, add value in processing facilities, and deliver the final product to markets where demand is highest and price is most elastic, North America or Europe. And the law enforcement interventions they encounter in this process are merely an expense item under cost of doing business for them, and every seized shipment is a risk that is insured or reflected in prices like a sunken ship. However, drugs are not the only item in the criminal economy. Human trafficking stands out as one of the most horrific but economically efficient sectors of this dark portfolio, because while a drug package can be sold only once, a human being can be exploited, sold, and rented multiple times, which turns human trafficking into a low-cost and high-profit business model with an estimated annual turnover exceeding $150 billion. The new opportunities brought by the digital age have moved the economy of crime from the dust of the street to the speed of fiber optic cables. Cybercrimes, and especially ransomware, are like the startup ecosystem of the criminal world because there is no obligation to transport physical goods. There are no border gates or customs officers, there are only codes and crypto wallets. The low entry barrier in this field and the relatively low risk of getting caught have turned talented hackers into the new white-collar workers of the criminal economy. And in this sector where annual losses are expressed in hundreds of billions of dollars, your data can instantly become the world's most valuable hostage. Another massive revenue stream, the counterfeit product industry, steals a share of approximately $500 billion from global trade by imitating everything from luxury bags to vital medicines. Here, criminals reach massive profit margins with zero R&D and marketing costs by using the image and trust capital created by brands spending billions of dollars for free, thus exhibiting the most concrete example of the free rider problem in the market. However, crime does not end with producing goods and services. This dirty money earned must be introduced into the legal system that is laundered, and here, as economic Sherlock, we enter the darkest corridors of the financial world. Money laundering is the finance department of the criminal economy, and this process operates through placement, layering, and integration stages. Cash is first introduced into the banking system in small pieces. This is called then its trail is lost through complex wire transfer chains, shell companies, offshore accounts, and crypto money transfers. And finally, it returns to the economy as clean through luxury real estate, artworks, or legal businesses. At this point, we see how criminals use the vulnerabilities of the financial system and audit deficiencies as arbitrage opportunities. Many global centers, from London's real estate market to Dubai's gold trade, knowingly or unknowingly host massive laundromats where this dirty money is transformed. The economy of crime not only makes criminals rich but also deeply affects and disrupts the legal economy. Prices are artificially inflated in sectors where dirty money enters. Honest tradesmen and companies are crushed under unfair competition. Tax revenues evaporate, and corruption spreads like a virus to state institutions, gnawing at the credibility of economic institutions. The illegal betting and gambling sector is also a part of this structure. With its annual volume of hundreds of billions of dollars, this sector, which turns people's hopes and addictions into cash, constantly expands its market by turning every mobile phone into a casino with the help of technology.
Wildlife trade, on the other hand, sees nature as a depletable resource and converts biodiversity into cash by selling everything rare from rhinoceros horns to ivory at exorbitant prices. The economic logic here is built on scarcity rent. The more a species decreases, the more its price on the black market increases, creating a terrible paradox that further encourages criminals to destroy species. The structure of criminal organizations has also evolved over time. The place of hierarchically and vertically organized mafia families has now been taken by flexible, network-type structures working on a project basis. These new generation criminals increase their operational efficiency and minimize the risk of being caught by collaborating with subcontractors. Having different areas of expertise, hackers, chemists. In conclusion, the criminal world is a massive free market experiment growing in the shadow of capitalism, applying its rules in the most ruthless way, exempt from taxes and regulations. As we examined in this video, when we analyze criminals not just as moral deviants but as economic actors who make rational decisions, respond to incentives, and pursue profit maximization, we understand that fighting them is possible not only with police batons but by changing economic incentives and structures. In this deep dive as economic Sherlock, we reveal in all its nakedness that crime is not just a subject of detective stories, but is actually the darkest and most instructive laboratory of the economy, and how this invisible hand that touches every aspect of your life from the dollars under the mattress to the credit card in your wallet operates. Because when you follow the money, you find not only the criminal but the system itself. And as billions of dollars change hands in this system, we have to face the reality of who the winners are and that we are the losers. Now we really want to ask, what do you, who earn your money in return for your labor as modernity commands you, think about this whole system? No matter what happens, the economy is actually an art of indebting. While the creditors are states, companies, multinational organizations, cartels, and crime barons, do you always have to be on the debtor side?